Hey there, welcome once again to the Shift with Mercy Valarie. I am super excited that you're part and parcel of this community. Thank you for joining this community. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to be bringing you content that will transform your life, content that will make you think outside the box, content that will intrigue you, content that will bring out the best in you, that which that you have inside of you that the world hasn't seen yet. Content that will transform the way you're thinking, your attitude, your character. I'm going to bring you interviews. I have interviews lined up with very influential and different people from different spheres of lives. And I'd like you to tell me in the comment section, what else would you like us to talk about in this particular channel? All right, let me know in the comment section that which you want us to be discussing about in this particular channel. So once again, thank you so much for being part of this community, and I'd like to encourage you to hit the subscription button so that you don't miss any content that is going to be rolled out. And those who are already part of this community, thank you so much for joining in. Now, as you go through life, I think I've learned quite a number of things that I'd like to share with you today. Just some success tips that I learned from a certain book that I've been practicing. So this is, I'd like to give credit to the book once I'm done with this video. But remember to just watch and hear that which I've been able to learn from this particular book, okay? So now, some of the success tips that I've learned. Number one is be proactive, to take action. Nobody ever thinks their way to success. Nobody hopes their way to success. Good intentions never lead to success. For you to be successful, you have to take action. There's a way action attracts the right resources, the right individuals, the right connections, the right networks that you're looking for. When you begin to take action, there's a way the universe conspires and begins to bring things along your way. So remember, you can't hope your way to success. You can't only think. Thinking is good, but you can't think your way to success. There has to be action, and action begins to attract right people, right resources, right individuals, right connections, right everything that you require for success, okay? So please take action. What have you been procrastinating of late? That thing that you're procrastinating about could be the very thing that will make your destiny and that will make you to influence your world and the people around you in a positive way. So take action. Number two is begin with the end in mind. This is being intentional. You know, the cat is there. So remember to be very, very intentional. Always begin with the end in mind. For instance, so where do you see yourself in the next 10 or 5 years? All right. So once you begin with the end in mind, what structures do you need to put in place for you to be able to achieve that? It's not only appropriate to have goals. Many people have goals, but they never get to achieve those goals. It's important that you have the right structures. Remember, we don't fall to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our structures. You need to put structures that will guard those goals. So, for instance, if you want to be a CEO, or you're seeing yourself like a speaker, like I am, then you need to, one, enroll, read books, okay? Enroll in certain classes, in master classes for communication, on how to communicate, okay? Attend trainings for networking and the like. So always begin with the end in mind and be intentional, okay? Be very, very intentional. All right, remember, successful people do consistently what other normal people do occasionally, okay? Number three, put first things first. Prioritize your life. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. That's from John Maxwell, okay? Put first things first. There's so many people in this world who are just busy, going about they're just busy doing things here and there, but there's nothing they're accomplishing at the end of the day, all right? Put first things first. Remember to prioritize. Prioritizing is very, very key, very, very essential if you're going to live a successful and rewarding life at the end of the day, okay? Number four is think win-win, okay? One of the things that I've learned over the past few years is the power of teamwork. Remember, and the power of relationships. You are just one relationship away to where you need to be successful. Remember, if you have a goal or if you have a vision that only you can achieve, that vision is too small. You need to open up your circle and think win-win. So for me, whenever I enter into any kind of relationship, it could be a work relationship, networking relationship, I make sure that the other person gains and I also gain. So I think win-win. Any kind of relationship where you win and the other party doesn't win, it's not a good one. Always think win-win. How can I add value to the other person? How can I make their load lighter? And I think it's Zig Ziglar who mentioned that if you want to be successful, help other people achieve what they also want to achieve. And you will never lack someone to help you achieve that which you want to achieve. Okay? So remember, think win-win. Always remember to as well to measure, not really to measure, but remember to audit your relationships. The ones that are adding value and the ones that are not adding value. You're able to tell this person is adding value. That's our relationship that I should keep on cultivating. The ones that don't add value, kindly keep off. Number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. One of the critical things that you need for success is to be a good listener, okay? Learn to listen before you talk. It's critical. Most people talk a lot, but it's important for you to listen. When you're listening, don't listen listen with your heart, listen with your mind, listen with every being, with every part of your being, so that you're able to get the most out of the person that you're talking to. Okay? Allow people to tell you their stories. People's success is in their stories. I learned the other day that when you're meeting somebody who is influential, ask them questions and get to listen. Don't go there telling this person everything that you know. It's okay to know things. But when you're in the midst of influential and successful people, get to listen to their success, get to listen to their stories, ask them questions, glean from their stories, glean from their mistakes, glean from their failures, okay? That's important. So remember to seek first to understand before you are understood. Number 6, synergizing. Synergizing talks about teamwork. I mentioned earlier on, one is too small a number to achieve any greatness. Coming together as a team is very critical. Once you establish that which you want to achieve in the next 5-10 years, what are your goals? What is your vision? Then begin to set up a team that will enable you to accomplish that particular task. And your vision should come from me to we. Have the buy-in of your team. I mentioned the other day that people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. So people buy into you through your credibility, through your authenticity, through your objectivity. So remember to always synergize and get a great team to work with. People are not perfect, but you can get a good team. So long as they're willing to learn, they're hungry, they're thirsty to learn, and of course they're humble to be taught and they're made to be taught. It's very important. Number 7, sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw talks about improve yourself. And this is very, very critical. And this is what I've learned in the last few years, that growth is critical, because you can only go higher to the level of your growth. People fall to the level of their growth. Depending on where you want to be, growth is never automatic. Growth has to be intentional. I'd like to ask you a question. Do you have growth strategies? Do you have strategies that you put in place for you to grow? Do you have trainings that you're attending? Do you have books that you're reading? Do you have podcasts and that you're listening to? Are you growing? Because the day you stop growing is the day you start dying, and the day you start becoming obscure. So remember to grow. Remember to build up yourself in whichever sphere you're in. I'd like to challenge you today that you begin to grow. Begin with the small steps. There's something I've learned about the rule of 5. The rule of 5 is you waking up every single day and doing something that will enable you to be where you are in the next few years or few months, so to speak. And you're repeating the same thing every single day. For instance, if you have a saw and you want to cut a tree, every single day just cut a little bit. By the end of a few years or a few months, that tree will be cut down totally. So remember to grow yourself, okay? Good. Now, I'd like to encourage you once again to subscribe, share this video, and see you in the next one.